Hi, I'm Andy Satterlund for Tuts Plus, and in my previous video I showed you the basics of casting on and working the simplest of stitches in double knitting. And now I'm going to show you how to increase and decrease. We're going to start with increases. So I've worked 2 pairs of my stitches in double knitting, and now I'm ready to increase. So I'm going to do a make one. I'm going to insert my needle underneath the bar in between 2 stitches. I'm going to work it like a make one to create a stitch. And then I'm going to bring my yarn to the front, and I have to make one purlwise using the blue yarn. All of my increases have to be done in pairs, just like my regular work. So if I do something in the yellow on the knitting side, I have to do the same on the purl side in blue and do it purlwise. So I'll work a pair, and here we have the yellow stitch I increased, and then there's the blue stitch I increased. And because I increased in pairs like that, our pattern is maintained. So I'm going to increase again. We're going to lift this bar with the yellow with our yarns in the back. I'm going to do a make one in yellow. We're going to bring our yarns to the front. I'm going to come around to the blue side and lift a bar. We're going to do a make one purlwise in the blue. And that's really all there is to it. We've got our pattern maintained of the yellow knits and the blue purls, and we've got our increases in between, maintaining that pattern. So I'm going to work a few stitches, and then I'll show you how to decrease, which is slightly more complicated. In order to decrease, we need 2 yellow stitches by each other and 2 blue stitches by each other, so we're going to have to rearrange our knitting a little bit. And that does mean dropping stitches off our needle, but we'll pick them up right away. So I've slipped the first yellow stitch to my right needle, and I'm going to slip these 2 together. So I've inserted my needle up in between the 2 stitches, and that pulls them off in that order. And then I'm going to slip the blue back. So now I've got 2 yellow and 2 blue. And I can work my decreases however I would normally. So here I'll just do a slip, slip, knit because they're already in that right order. And I'll bring the blue to the front, and we'll purl these 2 together. You want to make sure that your purl side is done with the purl decrease, so you don't get a purl ridge on accident when you flip your work over. So I will show you that again. We're going to slip the first stitch. We're going to slip these 2 together. And then we're going to slide that blue stitch back. And then if we want to work a knit 2 together, we would have to slip these back rearranged. And now we'll bring the yarn around, knit them together. As you can see, these decreases slightly differently. And we're going to bring our blue to the front, and we can rearrange these if we want them. So we're going to do a slip, slip, purl. And there we have it. We've decreased, but we've maintained our pattern where we've got yellow, blue, knit, purl, and then we can just work to the end of the row. We're going to turn our work like normal, twist our yarns, and keep working. And when you turn your work, you'll see that your sides still match if you've done everything correctly. So here is our first, you can see your first decrease there. Next up, I'll show you how to work from a chart.